Joining us for the first of the morning press conferences today, the team from California Chrome, and sitting next to me, trainer Art Sherman and his son Alan. And I'll start by asking some questions, and then there will be a chance to some questions from the room. But Art, first reactions. I know you're peering through jet-lagged eyes, but first reactions of seeing Dubai and the prospect of what's going to happen at the weekend. How excited are you?
Well, I think this is a fantastic place to be. You know, it's kind of remind me of an oasis out in the desert, to tell you the truth. It's almost like coming into Las Vegas when you're in the United States, you know, and it's just gorgeous from what I've seen. And I've got a few other tours later on this week, so I'm anxious to be here, and I think it'll be a lot of fun for our team. I really do. And
talking about the plan to come here, when did you suddenly think this could be a goer? And at what stage during maybe last year, or when did you suddenly think the World Cup?
You know, we thought about it in the back of our mind, but you know, it's a long way to go when you're stabled and everything. I'm in Los Alamitos and Long Beach, California. You know, we're next to the ocean there, and it's a different change, you know, but we've got a horse that can travel. You know, he's been all over the United States and been in airplanes, been here, different courses. You know, we had 3 different courses we run on, and so I don't have to think you have to take his racetrack with him when he travels, you know.
And this morning he had his last sort of blowout before the weekend. Your reaction to what you saw? Were you a happy trainer?
Yes, I was. You know, it gives me a chance. I haven't seen him now in a week. Of course, my son takes care of all the shipping, and he always goes. He's never been away from this horse ever since we've had him as a 2-year-old. So I felt very good about that. Of course, when you got horses to train in California, you know, I have other clients. I got one other good 3-year-old coming up, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he turns out all right.
But obviously, just reflecting on last year, it was just an extraordinary year for your horse, what he achieved, and ones of so nearlies as well. So presumably last year was just an extraordinary year for you and the horse.
Oh yeah, winning the Kentucky Derby is just like a dream for me. When I was a young kid, I was back there with Swaps when he won it in 1956, and I thought it was great to be there when you're a young fella. And now that I'm up in years and been on the racetrack as long as I have, you know, it's quite an honor to win that race. It's the most prestigious race that you can win in the United States. You know, everybody's tried to win that race with every different kind of horse, but for some reason it's tough.
But this horse captured the public's imagination. He became and it's hard for in America racing to get the headlines, but California Chrome definitely did. He became a real people's favorite. That must have made you feel really proud.
Oh, he sure did. You know, I call him a California rock star because he's got such a following. You couldn't believe it at Del Mar when I run him the first time on the grass, and it was one of their new meets to be later on that fall, and we had 25,000 people just come out to see him. The grandstand was packed, and it was quite a day. I just can't believe the following this horse has, you know, all over the world. You know, I got off the airplane here and everybody said, "Oh, there's California Chrome's trainer." You know, I thought, well, nobody will know me in Dubai, you know, but it's been great.
And do you enjoy that side of it? I mean, because some trainers can say, "Well, I'm just a rip," but
well, you know, I've always been for racing. You know what I mean? To me, it's our game, and we got to do everything we can to make sure it survives, and that's where I'm at. I've been around for a long time.
Back to this race. So looking at the track here, we got the new dirt back here. I mean, obviously, from your perspective, does it look you say he will take it all in his stride, but what's your gut feeling?
Well, I think so. You know, I don't know if I would have come if it would have been the old Topeta. You know, he likes to hear his feet rattle a little bit. He likes a good dirt track. He likes a little firmer going. And I thought, well, this might be the best spot for him. And don't forget, $10 million has a nice ring to it, you know, when you're thinking about it.
A lovely ring. Well, Alan, just bring you in. You have been here with the horse. You saw this morning, obviously, your dad making him get up at 4 o'clock in the morning wasn't very kind of you, but you know.
Actually, 3:30.
Well, even worse. But Alan, you've been with the horse the whole time. Just sum up how he has been here for everybody who may have only just arrived out here.
You know, he's traveled great. He came off the van bouncing. We walked him the next day, and then the following day we took him to the little jogging track, and he bounced around there, and then we took him to the main track, and he galloped, and Willie said he felt great on the track. So, you know, he seems to handle the track well, and I just think if he gets an opportunity to run his race, that he'll put on a pretty good show.
Well, Willie, you've been riding a horse. To sum up what he's been like out there and your reaction.
Well, I mean, you know, he's a horse that usually takes a couple of days for him to get accustomed to wherever he goes. And it's like no different than any other time. First day looks around, second day a little bit. By the third day, he's just fine and travels over the track fine, handles it well. You know, and there's not much more we can ask for him.
Is he looking for crowds?
Yeah.
But I mean, so looking at this week, you are the favourite. You are the one they've all got to beat. Do you think, deep down, you think you can come away with that $6 million first prize?
Well, it sure would be nice. You know, I give everybody a credit that's in that race. You know, it's not a gimme. Everybody thinks that you go all over when you run against all the horses. You know, we've got some good ones, and we've got Shared Belief, who I think is a real McCoy in California. I think in our country, you saw the two best handicap horses in America run in the San Antonio. I think it's Shared Belief and my horse. You know, we were like 8 lengths in front of the next horse, who were pretty good horses.
I like your confidence. Questions?
Hi. You were known to be a little reluctant to bring the horse at first. Now that he's here, now that he's shipped well, are you feeling a great deal more confident about his condition and about his ability to run his race here? And also, what other work are you planning for him for the rest of the week, if any?
Well, he won't need anything else. You know, we put a pretty darn good foundation under him at Los Alamitos. I worked him a lot faster than I usually work him. I just thought that, listen, we're going to come back for the big money. I don't want to have any excuses. I don't want any short horses. And he's been working fantastic there at Los Alamitos. And I just thought, well, I watched him today and holding his weight really good. I really felt good because, you know, shipping and everything, a lot of horses lose a lot of weight. But boy, he dives into that feed tub and looks great, you know. I said, wow, you know, because I haven't seen him for a week, and it's funny when you don't see a horse for a week and all of a sudden you think, well, I hope he's okay, but he looked great today.
So you are feeling better about the decision?
I really am. You know, it's just like anything else. You know, we traveled 25 hours on an airplane. You know, that's the longest he's ever been. And you wonder, well, I'm going to different climates. You know, there's a lot of things go through your mind, you know, as a trainer would be. And I've never been to Dubai. It'll be my first time. So, but I'm glad I'm here, and I hope he runs a big race. I'm looking forward to it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Apart from the obvious fact that he's faster than the other horses, what makes him stand out? What qualities does he have that makes him this good horse?
Well, he's kind of push button. You know, I rode for like 23 years, so I know what it feels like to be on a horse. And I watch him run, and he's got natural speed. If you want to use it, you can put him any place in the race. Somebody wants to lead, he could stalk him. You know, he's not a one-dimensional type of runner. So, you know, that means a lot. You know, just keep him in the clear and have a place to go. That's all I ask.
Not a gigantic stable by comparison. You guys don't have owners that spend millions of dollars on horses to increase your odds in having this kind of horse. When did you know the horse was good? And then when did you know the horse was special?
Wow. You know, when we first, as a 2-year-old, he was awful green. You know, he won a stake at Del Mar as a 2-year-old, but he was all over the racetrack. You know, wasn't the horse he is now, you know, growing in the air and developing. And then all of a sudden he kept getting better after each race. And I watched him perform. And, you know, he won 6 races in a row, you know, and the race prior to the Santa Anita Derby, and he won by 8, just being ease, and I kind of had goosebumps, you know, and I said, wow, I hope he runs this good in Santa Anita Derby, and he beat a field that I thought was a top bunch of horses, and he won easily. And then I felt like I had a real shot to go to the Derby and have a big chance, and he didn't prove me wrong.
Art, do you think this is a horse who is really a 1.25 mile horse, or is he a really good horse who's got a lot of speed and maybe more naturally a 1.125 horse whose quality gets to 1.25 miles? How confident are you that he stays that trip?
Well, you know, the breeding wise, you wouldn't think he could get the trip.
Right.
You know, his daddy was like life and death to win going 7/8 of a mile. But, you know, once in a while you get a horse. Anytime you can get a speed horse that can rate and have determination, I think that's no problem going 1.25 miles. You know, and sometimes it's easier than running a straight flat mile or 1.125 miles, because you're always going to have good speed horses that are going to challenge you a lot of times. But I think if he can get to where he can set his own pace and be right around and be in strike condition, I think the horse would have no problem going 1.25 miles.
And real quick, Alan, having seen him through the time that he's been here, were you pleased all along with the progress that he made, you know, adapting to the circumstances? I mean, I think all horses tend to lose a little weight just from getting here, but I mean, looking at him today, is he where you hoped that he would be?
Definitely. He, you know, he came off the van, he bounced off the van, and the next morning when we walked him, he was raring up and feeling good. So I was really happy with the way he shipped and the way he's trained here. I couldn't ask for him to be doing any better.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Kind of a follow-up to what I asked before. You've been through the development of the horse, the Triple Crown, the Breeders' Cup. Now you're halfway across the world in Dubai. You wake up some morning, all three of you, and just say to yourself, man, it feels like I'm in a dream with this horse. Like, it just, a lot can happen in 1.5 years, but it's been an amazing journey, if you can just kind of reflect on that a little bit.
It's definitely been a dream come true for us. You know, growing up in America, the one race you want to win is the Kentucky Derby, and he did that, and everything else has kind of been a bonus, you know, as far as I'm concerned. But it's just been an amazing ride we've been on with this horse. You know, like like you said, we don't have all the high-profile clients, you know, and kind of got lightning in a bottle with this horse.
What are your racing plans after the World Cup?
We'll take it one race at a time. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's just so hard to plan, you know, when you're running these kind of races all over the world. Everybody wants you. I have the Royal Ascot to look at. They've been coming. I have in Hong Kong, they want me there, and they, you know, all over the world. He's kind of like a drawing magnet, you know, for racing right now. So that's what we're doing.
It's post time.
And they're off, I think. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Terrific. Thank you very much. And best of luck at the weekend, and have fun while you're here in Dubai. Thank